I was muted, of course. I'm your faithful tech wrangler here. Oh boy, let's start over. Thank you, tech wranglers, for being a part of this historic event. And to Angie, our trail boss, the best boss we could ask for. Her vision is what inspired me, and her tenacity, patience, and perseverance as we went through this entire process. It's what kept everything going. She also arrived on time and with grace, regardless of what was happening in the background. And I got to say, there were some days that we didn't know if we were cat herders or at a goat rodeo. I can go on and on about Angie because she has been an inspiration and a major support in my life since I entered the scene, the calligraphy scene, in 2016. In North Carolina at the Show of Hands conference, I saddled up next to Angie at her booth on vendor night and planted my face in front of her letters and gazed with amazement. In 2017 at Letterworks, I followed her around like a puppy dog. She always had a camera in her hand and her energy was infectious. In 2018, I signed up for a retreat that she was putting on through the Texas Lettering Arts Council and stayed up very late every night making letters or sharing our life goals and dreams with one another. I admired her for her ideas and ability to pull off such big ideas. She was the co editor of a Speedball Handbook, organizer of the Texas Lettering Arts Council, and organized two other conferences prior to Legacies III. And it's been my dream since 2016 to help calligraphy instructors teach online. I didn't know how I was going to accomplish that because everyone I talked to didn't want to mess with computers very much. You can imagine what that was like years before the pandemic. It was very much an analog world, which I completely understand. As a visual practitioner, I prefer analog too. And I'm sorry that it took a pandemic to make it happen. But as soon as it hit, I shifted my in person workshop for the Colorado Calligraphy Guild into an online workshop, and I immediately reached out to Angie before we knew it. We were planning a mini session. She brought nearly 100 people, and a few weeks later, that grew to over 300 at a full day workshop. And some of you might have been there. Later that summer, I helped her with some teaching training, and I was more interested in learning about the different ways calligraphy teachers were using technology than telling them how calligraphers, than telling them how to do it. Calligraphers are creative problem solvers, and I wanted to see what they came up with. I spent the next 6 months trying to convince Angie to have a virtual conference. Then, after working with some of the calligraphy guilds, I spent the next 6 months hoping it wouldn't happen. The community was resisting, and I didn't want to push. Plus, I was killing myself trying to help and ended up being the IT person for hundreds of people. I didn't get paid for that. My health started to wane, and I knew that I needed to step away and focus on me. When Angie announced that Legacies 3 was going virtual, I knew I wanted to help. I didn't want to tech host, though. I wanted to build a team of tech hosts so that I could refer requests to others. In 2020, I tech hosted over 200 live hours for calligraphy guilds, plus over 400 hours of prep and post time. I also tech hosted for corporations, national associations, and for conferences. In addition, I taught online over 400 hours with double the amount of prep and post time. I learned a lot in that time, and I learned even more from taking facilitating virtual collaboration class from the Grove and by earning my virtual facilitation certification. While attending a lot of poorly delivered calligraphy classes, and I'm pretty sure you've been to a few of those, I started writing what to and not to do while teaching online. I witnessed some of the worst online teaching from some of the best calligraphers, some of which were teachers. This informed my work as a tech host as I began to work with calligraphy masters looking to teach online. I developed strong relationships as they became proficient and their workshops filled and became in demand. And then I took what I was learning and I drafted the playbook on the art of tech hosting specifically for you and for calligraphy guilds. I continued offering related resources, and again, with Angie's support, we created an online portal with a host of resources at learn.txlac.org. I trust all of you have been there and have hopefully watched all the videos and taken advantage of all the resources there. When it came time for Legacies 3 conference, we started with getting instructors up to speed. When Tamer, Cora, and I met, we came with a game plan where we each offered times to meet in small groups with the instructors. We determined their vitals, offered advice on teaching online, and reported who were good to go and who needed a little extra support. Believe me, some people fell through the cracks, and I'm sorry. There was a range of experience, but no one who has been teaching more than 2 years online that I remember. Next, we needed a way to get tech hosts to skill them up with some information. So we used the playbook as a general guide to teach a mini session through the Texas Lettering Arts Council. There were over 90 attendees. In the session, we tried things, broke things, and started to see the scope of the task as tech wrangler at Legacies 3. Now, I knew how to teach people how to tech host, but how to tech host at Legacies 3, you were all on the trail with me for that one. As you know, we gave out badges for accomplishments, including the Tech Wrangler Legacies 3 badge, once tech hosts and instructors were paired up. We went from 90 to 30 tech hosts, which ended up supporting nearly 100 instructors and over 200 sessions in the conference. Incredible. Thank you. Tech Wranglers at Legacies 3 ranged in experience. They self-selected their sessions, and the number each tech host supported ranged from 1 3-hour session to 34 sessions. Yes, someone actually tech hosted 34 sessions. Some tech hosts had it easy with experienced instructors who were generous with their knowledge, engaging, and fun. Some tech hosts had a harder time working with first-time instructors. There were 2 instructors that needed so much support, they pulled resources from the entire team and asked more than what was appropriate, given they were professionals. Some tech hosts felt that pinch, while others did not. When we polled tech hosts about their experience, we definitely had a mixed bag. But for the most part, it was a positive learning experience for almost everyone. And as Angie and I wrap up the loose ends of Legacies 3, we recognize the energy that went into this effort, want to acknowledge the tech hosts for what they did to help blaze the trail, and offer up an opportunity to continue tech hosting with us and for others. I want all of you to know that we are creating a directory of tech hosts we recommend based on the performance we witnessed at Legacies 3. Keep in mind, we couldn't be everywhere at once to witness your greatness, so please continue to self-report and let us know how you're doing. I can't thank you enough for everything that you have done for us, for Angie and I, for the calligraphy world, for your guilds, and how what you will do will ripple on. And I am so, so very happy and thrilled that I feel comfortable enough to pass the reins on to you. Thank you, Tech Wranglers. It's been fantastic.